Looks like Streamlabs is side a podcast moving up and down. Streamlabs moving side to side. As long as we don't sound like we're in a tin can, I don't have time for all the usual pleasantries. Why? Because we're 2 fucking hours late. Ah! I'd like to pass along my sincerest apologies for being late and cast blame correctly and squarely on the shoulders of who is to blame. The Sun Valley Fox. You know, we were out there. We had to run out to the property, had all this lined out, meet a guy at the property, talk about the property, do something to the property, be there at 5:30, be done by 6, drop him off by 6:30, be here by 7. That's what I told everybody. Show up at 7. We're an hour late. Why? Sun Valley Fox. I say, we need to get in the truck and go. He goes, nah, we got time. I said, well, we really should get going. He said, let's talk to the neighbors a little bit longer. I said, well, your wife, St. Donna, is going to be very upset. He goes, nah, so what? She'll get over it. You know, when he's the elder statesman of the family, he is the patriarch of the family, you can only go so far pushing the issue. And then you just have to succumb to your personal role in the hierarchy and just humbly hold your hat in your hand and wait patiently until the old guy is ready to go home. And when he's ready to go home, then we go home. So it's a very particular set of circumstances. But we did go out there. I'll go to the drag and drop section of the program right now. In fact, I'll make this the drag and drop section of the program for right now, only because I want to show what's going on. The property in Dayton is in, I don't have 2 ways to show you this. I'll just show you this one. It looks horrible. It looks like yuck desert. And when you look at it this way, you're thinking, oh my God, this is a horrible thing. But what you don't see is the fact that you look at the property right next to it. See, there's green, there's stacks of hay, there's animals. That's because if you just add water, everything turns green. You just have to grow stuff. You know, there's good soil under there. You just got to go get it. This was farmland, which is why it's so straight and flat, no big rocks and everything, because they were farming on it. We had to pull sprinklers out of this land when we bought it. So it's good soil. It's good for growing it. Like in the bottom picture, it turns green. That's the property right next to ours. Ours would look that green if we watered it too. You just got to plant something on it. But the big thing is that we have to, we kind of got out over our skis a little bit. Let me show you how the dominoes have fallen. We have 2 things in store. We have 2 big storage units here for all of our stuff because we moved. It's costing us about $500 a month in storage. $500 a month for the length of time it's going to take to build the house and maybe a little bit beyond. It's going to be about $6,000, say about nine. The quick way out is about 9, probably about 10 to 12,000. So we figured worst case, we're going to be about 12, little over 12,000 in storage. Or we can buy those big sea trains, those big cargo containers. We got 2 40-footers and we can put it on the property. So we go buy the 2 40-footers. But in order to quit paying storage, you actually have to move everything. To actually move everything, you have to put the containers on the ground. To put them on the ground, you have to put them in a place where my wife doesn't go, don't put those fucking containers there, I'm going to rip your balls off. So the Sun Valley Fox, in his infinite wisdom, comes out there and he strokes what's left of his white beard and looks around. We picked a good place for him, but now we have to prepare the ground because the people that sold the containers say if they're even off a little bit, if they're not level, the doors won't open. These things bend and they twist. So we have to have it level, which means we have to have part of it cleared. You see what it looks like? So we go, 60 feet by 60 feet, and we got to clear it out. Then you have to put down some gravel, some compost, something down there. And we're thinking DG because it keeps the weeds down. We're thinking gravel, something bigger than 3/4 minus. And we call a guy. We find a guy who does a bobcat, does this kind of stuff. He's going to meet us out there. He was late. We run out there, and he shows up. We go out and drive and say, this is what we're thinking. This is what we're doing. He's like, yeah, you don't want to use DG. You don't want to use gravel. You want to use, road base. Aha! Road base. And I said...
No, my brother was yelling at
He was yelling at the TV going, it's road base, because he's reminding me the whole way home. So he's road base. He goes, what it is it's big chunks of jagged, then it's 3/4 minus, then it's pebbles, then it's dirt, and it's stuff, then it all compacts and it locks together. He goes, that's what they use to build highways. That's what you want. And you don't need 6 inches of it. You need 4 inches. I was thinking 18 inches. Then I went down to 12 inches because I always heard 12 inches is what you're looking for. That's what I was always told. So I'm thinking 12. He's like, no. He goes, it's not your dick. Bring it down a notch. 4 inches is going to be fine. So he's out there. I can clear it out. I can level it out. I can have somebody deliver the road grit, as I'm calling it now, and put the road grit down, the road base, and then I can smack that down and level that. Then you can put your C-trains out there. See? Problem is, the guy who's doing it says, on his little Bobcat, I don't have a picture of the Bobcat, he broke the ring gear on his flywheel. As a mechanic, I'm thinking, oh my God, I would not want to take all that apart. And he's talking about taking a torch, cutting out part of the framing and the body to get the engine to move so he could do the whole thing. And I think in a professional Bobcat shop, that's probably a 2-day job, maybe 3. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know. At his house, guy's never done it before. I'm thinking he's a week out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So as we're talking there, I got to meet 2 of my neighbors that I had not met before. And one guy had bought the property right behind us, right before us. He's building his house, and he came up and introduced himself, got a ton of stuff. I mean, can you imagine all the stuff you go through building a house with the county? Permit yes, permit no, did too soon, did too much, didn't ask for the right thing, got the wrong thing. You got the wrong thing, but you ordered the right thing, and they sign it off, can't sign it off, going to send an inspector, no inspector. I mean, all the stuff that you normally go through that takes months and months and months and months and adds aggravation. This guy literally is going through it now. He's almost done. And I just met him. He gave me his phone number. He says, when you have questions, call me. I've already gone through those. I can save you a ton of headache. Great. Good neighbor. Another guy on the other side talking about stuff, too, that he knows and how to keep the weeds in. Because trying to clear this out, how would you guys clear this out? How would you guys clear all those tumbleweeds and stuff off of this dirt? Some people would say just go pull it and rake it and throw it out. All right. So 50 guys, it would take them 3 or 4 days. And what do you do with it? The price to haul it away would be astronomical. Another guy thought was just take and tear them all up. Get a little skiff, bobcat, or a grader with a blade behind it and drag it till they're all gone, make it in a big pile. You can burn it, but if it gets away from you, you're in trouble. You're in jail. You burn down the whole town. If you haul it away after scraping it, you're hauling away mostly dirt, and they charge you by weight. You got an extra $20,000 to throw all this stuff away when you scrape it? Oh, it'll look good, but it's a lot of money. The old boy I met lived next door. He's got double the size property I do, and his property looks great. He said, mow it. I said, what? He goes, mow it. Get a brush hog, chop it all the way down to the ground. Of course, everyone's standing around now, a little collective, like, nah, you can't do that. That's not going to work. What do you do with the excess? How do you kill the roots? Of course, all of us are staring at this guy's 5 acres that look perfect. There's not a weed on it. And there's people questioning what he's doing. I'm like, I'm listening. And he's like, look, you chew it all up. Just get a big blade and chew that thing up. Get a brush hog and tow it behind your tractor, PTO, drive shaft deal. Get it on its lowest setting and grind it up. He says, everything that's chewed up doesn't come back. These aren't weeds like in your grass. If you mow the weeds, they just grow taller. These roots die. He goes, you cut this off, they die. Now you're going to get other weeds that'll grow. You'll get other sagebrush that'll grow, but these don't grow. When they're cut, a big stalk gets cut. He goes, they die. Plus you're half mulching it up. The rest blows away. I believe this guy's fucking property looked great. So on the way home, Sun Valley Fox is thinking, I know what to get. He knows what he's looking for. He's going to do some homework. We'll go rent something. We'll take a Saturday or Sunday and just go out there and tear it up. But we learned a lot talking to those guys, but it not only was the guy late, the conversation ran long, but when you meet the neighbors, you got to be polite, and they have really good information. Another 30 or 40 minutes doing that. Yeah. That's why I was late. All the show prep stuff that I had in mind, I can't do, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. That's where I was, right where those pictures are taken. That's right where I was standing, trying to get stuff done. And the Sun Valley Fox, I wish he was a little bit more abrasive. He's never going to be because he's got a very kind spirit, but he lets people talk and then kind of interjects like, well, if we did it this way and took what you said and he asked it as a question and they come, well, I don't know if that would work. I mean, my way is the best way and what I say goes. But the Sun Valley Fox can derive all the stuff someone's saying and try to just interject and pull out enough little pieces to make it the best it can be in the right direction as a question, as a possibility, when sometimes he should go, that's the fucking dumbest thing I've ever heard. If we all do that, we're all going to be out here for a weekend and not accomplish anything. You need to shut the fuck up and quit talking. Sometimes that's what's needed. Sun Valley Fox would never do that to anybody. Luckily, we have me. Thank God for small favors. When those conversations happen, I don't have any problem going, okay, I like his way better than your way. Shut up. Didn't have to do that tonight. It was very calm tonight. Met the neighbors for the first time. Don't want to come across as humble. He's a good neighbor, he's a good partner, he's a good friend. Good conversations. We exchanged cell phone numbers. Everybody's happy. Did talk to the one neighbor behind me. I'm like, hey man, I have to move the fence back because where the fence is, it's like 16 feet on my side. I got to move it back 16 more feet. First time I met the neighbor, kind of an awkward conversation. So I used the word our fence because it is his fence and my fence. I said, hey, I'm going to have to move our fence back to these lines. And he looks where the surveyor came in. We had a professional survey done. And he was agreeing. He goes, oh, yeah, I figured that's what he's doing. Yeah, the fence come back. Yeah, it's good. And he says, what are you going to do? I said, we've got a couple guys. We're going to sink some railroad ties in here with some concrete, and then we're going to do it this way and cut it off and restring the barbed wire with some T-posts and stuff. And he said, hey, and he pointed to the other guy's fence that was our other neighbor, a neighbor we share. And it is a certain type of fencing, like 2x4 mesh of some sort. Pretty tough stuff, kind of expensive. And he said, well, if you guys are going to move the fence, I'll buy a whole run of that, and if I pay for it and you guys put it up, how's that? I'm like, fucking A. We're already going to be out there with 4 or 5 of us moving the fence anyway, and I wasn't going to have to go to any parts expense because all the extra stuff I got on the property, we've already torn it up, rolled it up, and saved it. We stacked it. This guy's going to come along with some cool shit. I'm all in. Again, being a good neighbor, we're all getting along. Everybody's happy. So I did, the thing is in Dayton, you get made fun of. Every town's got this. When I lived in Bend, Oregon, everybody made fun of Prineville. It was, oh, you're in Prineville, a redneck, hillbilly, low class, the trailer park shit. And that was what made fun of Prineville. When we were in Bakersfield, when you're in L.A., you make fun of Bakersfield. Oh, it's fun to live in Bakersfield and the fucking Dust Bowl, redneck, hillbillies. When you're in Bakersfield, you make fun of Oildale. Oildale is you live in Oildale, I bet you fucking 93308 area code, zip code. Trailer track. You make fun of. There's always a town you live in, and you guys know one right now. Whatever town you're living in, there's one you guys make fun of. Maybe you're the town that gets made fun of. Well, that's Dayton. Dayton is one of many towns up here that gets made fun of by Reno and Minden and Carson City. They all have the stepchild towns, and there's a lot of them. There's Fallon, there's Fernley, there's Stagecoach, there's Dayton. There's a bunch of them, and that's just kind of how life goes everywhere. I am personally very happy with where we're going to be building and the scenery and turning it all green and making it beautiful and planting stuff. I can't wait to do it. But one thing that concerned me, I didn't tell anybody this until today. When I was at the car dealership, somebody said, oh, you're going to move to Dayton. Water tastes like shit out there. Now, I've lived in some places the water tasted like shit. Apple Valley, Victorville, Apple Valley did not have good water for California. I was not happy. Las Vegas has probably the worst tasting water I've ever tasted in my life. I lived out there. We've stayed out there. It is just Las Vegas. Everywhere out there had horrible tasting water. I don't know if it still does, but it did for 20 some years. The best water I've ever tasted was Bend. Bend, Oregon always ranks in the top 3 for the most delicious natural tasting water because it's all filtered through lava rock as it comes up. It's absolutely most perfect water in the whole country. All the cities submit water, natural water, and just as a fun contest to see whose is the best. The only place that Bend loses to is Hawaii. Theirs is always number one every year. Can you imagine why? Filtered through volcanic rock. Nothing tastes as good as water in Hawaii. But Dayton, they said, tastes funny. I didn't think much of it, and I didn't say anything because I don't know if somebody's talking shit or if there really is a water problem out there. However, I learned today from my neighbor that's been there for years and the other neighbor behind me who just now built his house and drilled a well, and I got an education. The two existing houses that were already there, their water smells like sulfur. They say. I don't know how much, maybe just a little bit, maybe a hint, maybe a lot. I don't know. But it reminded me that someone said some Dayton water doesn't taste good. So then the guy who just built the house, I said, how does your water taste? He just put a well in. And he goes, well, he says, I learned from a guy who came out to drill the wells, an old boy who'd been drilling wells in Nevada for 30 years. He says, he points to this mountains right over here by us. He goes, this whole mountain has a big, huge aquifer of beautiful, clean water underneath it. But you got to go down and get it. All these houses that drill shallow and have found out the neighbors that have the sulfur smell, they're about 60 feet. That's pretty shallow for a fucking well. Like, I didn't think anybody would allow anybody to dig that low. So my new neighbor behind me says, no. So the old guy says, dig all the way down and you'll hit this other aquifer. It's huge. They've already done studies. He's repeating what they did for studies in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. They already know. And they said this is all pushing up in this area. But there's two aquifers, the one that's not so good and the one that's really good. He goes, so I paid the guy and he drilled down over 200 feet. And 200 feet when you're at a river level is pretty far down. If you're on a mountain, you may have to go 400 or 600 feet or more. But when you're down at the river level, you're in the basin, you don't have to drill. That's why that's why some people got away with 60 feet. But this guy went down over 200. He goes, hit the second aquifer, delicious. And even the other homeowners in the area came and tasted his water. Now they want to go dig theirs deeper because it's perfect. So I guess I'm going to avoid the Dayton has a smelly water or bad tasting water because we've got proof the guy behind us just did it and everything's good. But again, Dayton is one of the places everybody makes fun of. All right. I've lived in those places. I've made fun of those places. And I got to tell you, life is pretty much what you make it. And I'm going to make this one fun. I can't tell you how much of a good time I'm going to have putting this together and building this house and getting it done and moving in. It's just, if I have a way to retire, I can't think of a better way to do it than right where I am. I'm really super happy about what I'm doing. However, we are one of the stepchildren of Reno and Carson City. We are. And however, there are things to overcome. Like the water, and you just got to deal with it as you go. There's some wind out there. You got a layer of sand to get rid of before you get down to the good soil. But there's farms out there. There's Holly Farms is right next to us, and you just got to. It isn't just like California. You're not in Anaheim where you can just piss on the ground and orange trees grow. No, this takes a little work. It takes a little effort, but you can get there. You can get good water. You can get green grass. People have big lawns out there. They got lawns bigger than my whole property. You can build stuff out there, and it can come out great, but it takes a little bit of finagling to get it there. Well, I'm that guy. And I learned some stuff tonight, and I'm sorry I'm late, but that was what I was doing, and it was well worth the effort to sit and talk to those old boys and learn what I didn't know. Now, tomorrow I got to go do some more stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think the Sun Valley Fox can go with me. I'm pretty sure he's grounded because Mrs. Thomas was calling all around looking for her husband, and he was nowhere to be found. So I think he's grounded. I, on the other hand, am not grounded. I'm in good standing with my wife. So I can go out and play tomorrow, but I don't think Sun Valley Fox can come out and play. Not for a long time. But we're learning stuff. And I am sorry that it's 2 hours late, but that's what I was doing. That's where I was. And the guy I got to kind of move in the direction of finding finding maybe another guy that might help us, because if this guy can't get his equipment running quickly, remember the container people are like, we need to drop off the fucking containers right now. Let's go. I still haven't cleared the land or poured the gravel. So I can't really wait another week for this guy to, there's a lot going on. Dominoes are falling in certain order, and we're trying to get it done. Gen X Mom, what's up?
Nothing really.
Nothing in the sheets? Nobody cares?
Let me see. I'm checking. Give me 1 second. Brent went fishing, gave $2 tonight. He also did 5 Gen X Talks memberships tonight.
Thank you for giving the Gen X Talks memberships. Appreciate you.
A78 Fixer on YouTube for $2 he gave for Big Blue.
Big Blue is going to be coming along, because once we get this containers done, that's all. I told Gen X Mom we should just do every show as a garage show, because every night there's a show, I just want to be over there working on Blue or working on the trailer or working on the next project. I don't think she's going to let that happen, and St. Donna wouldn't have us over there that often anyway, but it was just how I feel. I want to get after this stuff and get going, and I can't work on it here because the house we rented in Minden for the next couple of years, a little bit small for doing projects. Neighbors wouldn't like it, but we're getting by. We're making do, as one does. But as long as I got a little bit of space to work on things, I'll be okay. Just can't always do it here.
All right. That's it. Just a few things from our staff. You're not late. You showed when you were meant to. Butterfly effect, Shai says.
Yeah, I always used to say that. It's like, I am never late, and I am never early. I arrive precisely when I mean to.
And Danny said, General is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to.
See, he was quoting Lord of the Rings like I was. I just said it before you did, so yep. I got that one.
That's it.
James K. Morgan over on Facebook Blue says Dayton is starting to blow up and grow. What about the horses? There's a lot of building going on in Dayton, but it's across the river from us. We're kind of in a different area where we're right up against BLM land, and all of it's I guess you could call it a track, but the smallest is 2.5 acres, and most of them are 5, and the biggest ones are like 10. They're big houses and properties spread very far apart. No subdivisions really. And we're right up, waiting for the live signal. What happened there? And then we're up against BLM land. The river's like 400 yards from the river. So we're in a unique place. All the buildings on the other side of the river. There's housing tracts and apartments and mini malls, all commercial stuff because we're really close to the USA Parkway. And that is a big, big, big project, like a boom town. Tesla's out there, Switch is out there, Amazon. You've seen big Amazon centers and Walmart centers? Those are nothing compared to what's going on out here. And so they're building housing, they're building infrastructure, they're widening the roads. And these are 7 and 10 year projects. So Dayton is going to grow. All the values are going to go up. I'm happy that the value of our land is going to grow up, and I'm also happy that it's all the building isn't right on top of us. It's far away. It's in town. We're outside of town. So you guys look up Dayton Valley Road. We're out that way. We're out at the end of Dayton Valley Road. The horses, there are horses that come around. We have seen herds of horses, 30, 40 horses. In fact, one of the things I got to talk about when I get a chance is how I almost hit a whole herd of horses coming up over, driving the trailer back down to Dr. Shadowlight. Got to tell you that story. Got to tell you about meeting Dr. Shadowlight. Just can't do it tonight. Got to save that for another night, maybe Thursday. But yeah, there's tons of horses out there. And Gen X Mom wants a mule. She's going to have a mule. She wants to name it Fred, and she wants to put it on the property and have this mule get a baby, raise it, and have it follow her around like she's the mama. And I'm okay with that. And there's tons of people, you can't do that. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's stinky. They shit. They destroy stuff. They eat stuff. All the stuff you're going to say negative, don't. Just shut the fuck up. We've heard it 100 times from 1,000 different people. I got it. You wouldn't have a mule. Your friend had one, ruined their whole life. I got it. Guess what? If Gen X Mom wants a mule, she's getting a fucking mule. And if we have to build things a little stronger and keep the thing in different places and move it around, then we're going to. And if she doesn't like it at some point, then she'll get rid of it. She'll take it to where mules hang out and she'll go give it to mules. But if she does like it, she's keeping it. And you know what? We're not going to hear a bunch of negative. Oh, you can't. No. I'd never do that. Oh, I'd never have a mule. Well, then you're uptight. Keep that shit to yourself. No one wants to hear us lectured about how I could never have a mule. Mules, they're so smelly. They're so awful. They're loud. They're noisy. They live for 40 years. They destroy everything. We've heard it. We got it. We know. We're still doing it anyway. May not work out, or it may turn out just like you're saying. But just keep that shit to yourself. You uppity bastards. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, we're gonna get a mule. We were gonna get a donkey, and she's changed it. She doesn't want a donkey anymore. Now she wants a real mule and a baby one, a little miniature one that grows up and doesn't become huge. No Clydesdales. No.
Danny said I should get a donkey, not a mule. So I don't know.
We said donkey, and everybody goes, no, get a mule. Now we're back to the other way. Now we say mule, someone's going to... It doesn't matter what we say. People are always going to say the opposite. How about we don't tell anybody anything? How about that?
I'll do some research. How's that?
She wants one, though. Something along that line. So she's used to having one ass around. I guess she wants another.
Laura Kay asked if we were going to get Buford back. I don't know. He's now getting a little older now.
Yeah, I don't know. If we ever got to a point where that was an option... I would call Trippy Pineapple, find out where Buford is, and have the conversation. But the people may not want to let him go, or the people may have sold him, and he may already be gone from this world.
We're not sure.
We don't know. But it would be something that we would consider if he was able to be released from where he's at, and we had a place for him. Yeah, we'd absolutely consider that. But then we've also learned that goats, they got to be in twos, right?
Yeah, you need more than one usually.
They don't do well by themselves. They got to have a mate, a partner, somebody to do stuff with. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. What we're not doing is no more Penny the pig. No. Chickens, yes. Penny pig, no. We still have most of her chickens. They're up here. They live here. They're at the Sun Valley Fox's house. She goes and visits them. And yes, we still have Doodle. And Doodle still runs up to her and jumps in her lap and follows her around. Doodle and the others made the trip up here, and they're living happily. So they're doing well. So we may get
fat.
They're fat. We may get them out at we still get eggs. We may get them out at the house in Dayton when we're done. This is going to be a couple year project to get everything we want done, one step at a time. But you know what? It's just it literally is a fun adventure as we go. We're not treating this as anything super stressful. We can create stress all on our own. We don't need a house to do it. But we'll do this stuff in stride and go at the pace we go at, and we'll get it done. And it's just, I'm having a lot of fun as we go along. But today I had to go do that because I had to get things in motion because they want to drop off those C trains, those Connex trailers, those transport trailers. They're like pushing us to get them done. Get them dropped off. To get them dropped off, we got to get the land cleared, get the gravel on the ground. And then out there's a couple people looking saying, I don't know that the big trucks can even drive on this without getting stuck. So do we need to put gravel to drive on before we can put gravel to set the C trains on? That's stuff to consider. I think more whiskey. Yeah, I think more whiskey would give me the correct answers. I think that's my problem.
Truth at the bottom of the glass.
The truth is at the bottom of the glass, and I just have not been drinking enough lately. Although I'm off my medication, which didn't allow me to drink, and I'm allowed to drink now. So who knows? Maybe we'll have a really good show on Thursday. Ooh, I hope so. Listen, that was it. I had to go do that stuff. I wanted to show you guys where we were at. It did take a little bit more time than I wanted. Like I said, most of it was completely the Sun Valley Fox's fault. He fucked everything up. And didn't care when he came home. I kept telling him the streetlights were on, and he didn't care. So we got some good information, met some nice people. We're on the right track, but I got to be on the road at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning handling some stuff. Yes, I will take pictures tomorrow. Yes, we'll bring it to your attention. But tomorrow we have a world show at 3 o'clock. We have an off-the-record show at 7 p.m. Los Angeles time. So I'm not sure who the guests are going to be, what the topic is going to be. Shiloh Ferguson is the producer of that show, so we'll see what she's got in store. She's probably already got some phone numbers and some notes ready to go. We'll make it a wonderful show. We're going to talk again on the World Show, which is politics, 3 p.m. Los Angeles time. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook Blue, and it's on X. So don't forget to tune in for that stuff. And I am sorry I'm late. If there's anything else in between the sheets, we got to go.
Let me see real quick. Nope. Oh, wait. Christina Dvorak, get her done, General. We all will be here when you are here. Love you.
No, Christina Dvorak. I love you. And you know I do. You know I mean it when I say that. I know her. So listen, we do got to go. I'm way behind. I haven't had anything to eat since breakfast, which if you were on Discord and you saw the food thread, you know what I had for breakfast because I took a picture of it.
Absolutely nothing.
So to speak. Anyway, that's it. I got to go. I got to get out of here. Thank you guys. I'm sorry the show was only 35 minutes long, but like I said, we started late. We were running late today, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. That's the story. You're all caught up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Not sure where you're listening in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember two things in life. And number one, wherever you go, well, there you are. And number two, I'll catch you guys on the flip side because I'm out, baby. I got to go.
Bye.
Time to leave. Turn it off.